What's cracking, people, man? I'm glad y'all tuned in with me this evening, man. We got a special guest in the building. None other than Poke G, man. What's
What's up with
going
it,
on,
baby?
man? Yes, sir, man. Hey, glad you stopped by the podcast, man. So, man,
Yep.
what you been up to, man?
Shit, man. Honestly, um, trying to stay branded, staying out the way, and trying to enlighten my people.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, for sure, for sure, man. So, man, give me some background, man. Where you from? Where you come out of? Where you started?
Why I started it in Waldo, Arkansas.
Waldo, Arkansas.
That's why I started it.
Yeah,
But my daddy, my pops was from Stamps, so you know my mama was from Waldo,
yeah.
so I'm from Stamps and Waldo to be exact. But my deepest roots come from Conville, Arkansas. That's where my great granddad had my mama and her mama and all that. So I'm from three places. I'm from Waldo, Stamps, and Conville.
Dang, that's what's up, man. So, shoot, man, I be seeing you on Facebook, man. You be talking some good talk, man. And then, not only that, I saw you did. I saw a lot of your music and everything. So, how do you know how you get off into the music like you do?
Well, music is like therapy for me. As a young guy, I felt like I was a star. You hear me?
Yeah,
I was a star when people didn't look at me as a star
right.
because see, it was in me and not on me.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I was. You know how you got a dusty diamond that needs polishing.
yeah,
I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And some things ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody to like and support. Some things is for you and for your personal reasons, and you ain't gonna get everybody to be on clap with you. But yeah, I started at a young age, man. It's just something that grew on me, and like I said, therapy for me because I get to express my emotions without acting them out.
yeah. Man, I definitely understand that. I'm trying to let me see if I can go to that post. Man, you said a post the other day that I thought was very interesting. You said you said this is going to offend a lot of narcissistic people. I'll be I'll be glad when y'all start admitting that you
Owning
move
up to the
fast.
truth.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, like the meaning of that is right there is that's for relationships, that's for friendships, that's for partnerships, that's for all type of ships
yeah,
because everybody want to be the one that never let you down, but for some reason everybody the one that let you down.
yeah,
So they'll paint a picture as in you the bad guy and you the reason for the end of the relationship when the whole time they are the one. But they gotta play the manipulation role to make you feel as if you the one that didn't realize what you done when the whole time they know what they doing.
yeah. And you know what, man? All throughout relationships and dealing with people, that's 80% of it all the time. Really,
Mm-hmm.
you the one keeping it real.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And when it come with keeping it real and when it come with really helping, you know what I mean, it's gonna come with some sometimes we people have this thing in their mind where it's like you think you something and you
Mm-hmm.
not, and you want everybody to ride this wave
Right.
to tell you like you this, but it ain't that. And then
Right.
when you tell them the truth, it's like, oh, you the problem then.
Oh, truth always got the blame, and that's what. Remember what I said. That's what everything, not just one certain thing. Relationship, familyship, friendships, even people that's not your friend, somebody that casually you know. If you be honest with a person, if that ain't what they're trying to hear, they're gonna have a problem. But like you say, they're gonna ask you for your opinion. So I learned sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it ain't good to give your opinion because they'll paint you out the bad guy because you got 12 yes men and then there's one man that's under. And let's clear something up.
Yeah,
It might be that to them.
yeah,
It might be that to them. But if I tell you it ain't that to me, it ain't that to me. But don't let my opinion bother you because I'm only one person because we know everybody don't like Lil Boosie, but half of the black community love him to death.
yeah,
We know half of the black community don't like rock music.
right.
But the rock stars love him to death. So we can't get caught up on one opinion because we all have them.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But you don't take an opinion personal.
Yeah.
You know?
It I think the biggest part about opinions when they come personal is when you ask somebody for something and you ask them to keep it real, you already got your presumption of what you expect them to say. Like, really, you asking me for my opinion, but really, you want me to say, what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But when it ain't that, then something wrong with it.
Wrong with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of people that was raised a certain way. So I had to understand, instead of me blaming the person that's in my face, I had to realize it's deeper than them.
Yeah.
Because it's their teachings. It's what they was taught.
Right.
Because if you put two nuts together, then what that village gonna produce? A bunch of nuts. So if you put a bunch of BS together, the village gonna produce BS.
Yeah.
So it starts with what home they come from and how they was raised. It's them because now they grown, but when something been in them for so long, they don't want to do nothing different. And we didn't already discover a change is the worst thing a person want to make because they not comfortable with change. They comfortable with what they used to, so they okay being the same.
You absolutely right. And then that's also the thing. That honestly, that was a hard part for me in dealing with people because I had to realize and then with some of the struggles I came through coming up, I had to realize sometimes with me, I used to get mad at people like, dang, don't you know not to do this? But some of them, I had to really dig deeper into it and realize this what they know. This is what they think this actually right to them. And everybody before them been doing it this way.
Well, the people that led them.
Right.
So, for an example, some of the people say certain things we're not supposed to eat for us, the meat, and all that stuff. But us as traditions, we can't see past that because we was born that way.
Right.
But you have to re-break yourself down and relearn. So it's the same thing with these people that don't want to be accountable or they don't want the truth.
Right.
They're going to have to break themselves down and be reborn again in such a way. You can stay where you at if that's comfortable for you, but we know that level of success is going to only go so far. So, and then another thing, too, you got to think about, when people got attitude problems, and they friends and partners don't want to go there with them, they gonna agree with them because they don't want to go there with them.
Right.
They don't want to have that problem.
My problem with situations like that, because we just talking this talk, man, I like this.
100.
My problem with situations like that is most people put their trust in the one that's lying to you. And then it's okay, you making me the problem, but why is this person a yes man? Eventually, you finna get snaked somewhere down the line.
You're gonna get snaked somewhere.
And a lot of times, what end up happening is certain people have certain intention for you, so they gotta play their role until whatever they got planned play out.
Facts.
And then when it play out, then now you done put all this time. And all this everything into them, and now it's you left and they gone with what you got, and you left with nothing.
You left with nothing. But see, that's when the person that you call selfish,
besides
the ones that was raised to be selfish, they remember what I said?
Yeah.
I try not to judge nobody without understanding somebody because it's a reason for everything. You know what I'm saying? You got a person that was a great person with a big heart, but them folks converted him into being that nonchalant person. I ain't got nothing for nobody. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the fact that he arrogant, cocky, and so selfish. It's the fact that you ain't there when I went through that pain. You hear me? You wasn't there when I gave everybody somewhere to stay, fed everybody, assured my last, and then it come down to it. I need a cup of water, and I can't get none of that. You understand what I'm saying? So you get about yourself, and I understand. My granny used to say something that used to break my heart. And it wasn't nothing crazy she said to me. It was just the fact she used to say, I'd be like, Granny, I'm always going to be there for you. And she said, baby, I don't need nobody but God. She was telling me and breaking it down then that, baby, Even your family will be against you at times, and you won't even know it. But one person that ain't gonna be against you is God. And I couldn't realize that then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So many people use the word friend so usually, loosely, and they really think they got friends. And what you have is somebody that's loading you up for a better pay, or somebody that can lean on you when they hurt. You feel me?
Right.
So imagine you the bread, you the money.
Yeah.
So everybody around you can call on you.
Yeah.
But you can't call on
Yeah.
you can't call on nobody because for the simple fact, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't have it.
Right.
So, and the first word they holler is, if I could, I would, right?
Yeah.
But then when they get it, it still ain't even that energy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, man, my advice to people is, focus on you and yours.
Yeah.
And if your cup overflow and you feel like blessing somebody, then bless them. But if your cup ain't overflowed to where you have the extras to do, don't stress yourself and don't feel bad about what you don't do. You know?
Right. And man, you said so much right in there because see, even then, like cause see, what I've learned is this: you can stress yourself so much, and then one of the things is this: you was talking about family, man. A lot of people, to me, want to lead off on that right thing, like okay. A lot of people want to be the type of person that say, okay, I'm going to make a difference in this area, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like when you doing that, you start figuring out, I said this the other day, I said this just earlier today. I said, Lord, whatever happened throughout my life, as I'm going up, as I'm building what I'm doing, Lord, I don't want to develop a characteristic of hating people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, as I get older, I'm like, now I kind of see why certain people did certain things. Right. Now I kind of see why this person didn't associate. Now I kind of see, because it's like, you know what I mean? When you got that mind to really like, I want to make a difference here. The trolls come, and then it's
they do.
They come in to like say, okay, let me see what I can get out of this, and then you be genuine at the moment. But when you get done like that, then you be like, you know what, man, you develop that discard, that hate, and then you know what I've learned when that happens. You'll end up meeting somebody genuine, and you'll be treating them like they the person that hurt you.
It's facts. You know what? I'm glad you said that, because that's a whole topic in itself.
Right.
About changing and doing people dirty because you've been done dirty. That still come back on you. Karma still got to do its job. So my goal is this right here. Like, even though, remember what I said, like I said earlier, if your cup overflowing and you're able to lend a helping hand and you want to do that. You hear me? What I said is, don't put you last for them.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, because so many people put themselves last for people and they blame it on God and they say, well, God got me. Yeah, God got you, but God got you if you didn't do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely right.
God put just, he reigns just on the pimp in the same way he do the church going folk.
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, we all weren't meant to be the same person, you hear me? And, it don't make you no greater because you're a saint, because the ones he want to get to the most is us, the ones that's destroyed and see things different than the way we supposed to see them. We the ones count at the moment because we the ones that need our souls saved.
Yeah.
So that's why when I first started going to church, I went to church smoking. I went to church drinking, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing I can hide from God, period. I had respect and didn't do it at the church or around church going folk, you know what I'm saying? And I spoke with common sense around these people. But I never tried to hide me from nobody, because I am who I am, and what I'm not, I could never be.
Right.
But the basic of what you said is, when people do you wrong, you end up doing innocent people wrong.
Right.
And that is true. Until you learn how to mask your emotions and your feelings, you're going to forever bleed on others when you've been bled on. Because I'm a person that has bled on people, you hear me? At a young mind where I didn't know no better. So the only thing on my mind, you can't tell me nothing, I don't trust nobody, get away from me. And I ain't want to hurt nothing, you feel me? Because I feel like, you know, I'd rather G alone than the G wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never been a group type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everything I learned, I had to learn it myself because I ain't have no partners around me that can give me pointers or no friends that can give me pointers. You know what I'm saying? Because I never trusted friends or partners because I was blessed with a light that for some reason make people jealous. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? When people see stuff good for you, it hurt their eyes. And that's the same way with the hate.
Yeah.
You talking about developing the hate. You going to get the hate, and it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's got something to do with them people themselves.
Right.
Because you got people, let me show you something.
Yeah, for sure.
You got people that done work hard all their life for a certain piece of success. Well, in the mix of working hard for that certain piece of success, they barely done made it to the second level. And then you somebody that ain't even been in the race.
Right.
And all of a sudden you hear,
Right.
well, they feel you don't need that. He don't need that. I really put in the blood, sweat, and tears. I really bust my such and such to get that. So now that's where that part come in, that judging, because they feel, and I understand why you feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand, but that don't give you the right to dislike me, hate me, and knock what I got going on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people would do that because that jealous streak was within them and how they was raised, bro, and ain't nothing you can ever do about that. And one thing my mama told me a long time ago, if they don't like you, they never will. So don't try to do nothing to get them to.
For sure. You absolutely right. And even in relationships, I had to learn that. Because, man, listen, you ain't going to really know nothing till stuff start happening. Like, until you start going through something, till you start dealing with something, you really ain't going to know. I thought about this one time in my relationship. I said, man, the stuff be going on. Sometimes I used to stress and dealing with different things, and me and my wife sometimes we'll argue, we'll disagree. I thought about this one day though. I'm like, you know what though, man, she's still here with me though. So it's like I learned then, like, man, really going back to what you said earlier, bleeding on people. Like, I'm really bleeding on her, and she the one who in the trenches with me.
Trenches with you.
She one really here with me. They got my back for real, while everybody else coming and taking. She in the trenches with me, and she really here with me. She under the rock with me.
Right with you. And you know what, though? When we been hurt and scarred in so many ways, like, we always do it to the person close to us because nobody else is around.
Yeah.
And it don't be intentionally.
Yeah.
It just be reacting without thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Far as in, she might do something that somebody done that's similar to some messy stuff.
Yeah.
And you might think, like, hold on. Well, one thing I learned to this right here, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sometimes the way we talk can make people automatically just off the top reject it. You feel me? And with a woman, you have to know how to communicate with her or she ain't going to listen to you. Because if you say now you can be passionate, so you can be speaking loud and you can be speaking with a little aggressive, not towards, but the fact that she going to automatically take it offensive because you're speaking from anger. You're not speaking with some type of knowledgeable sense. And that's where you never get an understanding that, and your temple gets shorter.
I promise you talking to me, boy.
No, for real, your temple gets shorter and shorter. But like you said, the woman's still there with you, so it's love there. And because I was once that guy with a short temper, you feel me? And I ain't far from it now, but I'm better. I'm better,
right.
With the help of God.
Yeah, for sure.
And with the help of the lady that I chose to be with for the rest of my life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm way better, brother.
Yeah.
But I used to be short. I done ran through a lot of people out of my life, you know what I'm saying? I done hurt a lot of people in my life, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing perfect about me. But I done cleaned up a lot, and I done did a detour, and, I done asked a lot of people for forgiveness, and I done moved to a different journey.
Man, for sure. I done the same thing, and man, when you was talking about that, I said, man, I know you definitely hitting on some jewels right now, because that was my problem. Sometimes I find myself talking in. Sometimes when I talk, I get excited. I kind of get loud, and so I'm like, then I'll lose total focus sometimes, and I done lost the whole conversation. I had to learn to just sit back and observe me, Even in the scripture, it always said, examine yourself. So I was like, man, I can see how a person could feel like that, because now I'm looking back like, dang, I didn't realize I did that. So, throughout life, man, I try to write. I've tried to right a lot of my wrongs, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't near perfect. One thing I had to learn how to do was be honest with myself.
That's the one. And see, I told the person this right here. If you can't be honest with yourself, you ain't got nothing going.
Right.
And honest with yourself means discipline.
Yeah.
A lot of people can say, I don't gotta smoke cigarettes, I'm just smoking them. Well, I said, okay, well, if that's the case, then show me that you can go a week without smoking them. Before 1 o'clock in the morning, they back smoking one. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the case that you not honest with yourself. So how can I expect you to be honest with me? And a lot of us choosing people that's not honest with themselves. So we are the fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I put my trust in you to open the door for me,
Yeah.
and you stab me in the back, I'm not a victim because I allow that trust. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got to start taking accountability. Like, a lot of times, same way with a woman, baby daddies ain't nothing. Baby daddies is BS and whoop whoop. Well, shout it, you trusted him with your possession prize.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you just as well as he is.
Right.
You ain't no victim. You ended up with the baby. You know how this go. You got aunts that done been through. You done seen the whole world dealing with deadbeat guys. So for you to go to the club, get full of that alcohol and want to have you a good time and end up with little Junior, don't blame that on the dad. That was both of y'all.
Yeah.
But you knew you was going to get the worst end of the stick because why? The mother the one that normally end up keeping the child.
Right.
So I just say we all got to take accountable. Ain't none of us innocent in no type of way. You feel what I'm saying?
You absolutely right. And going back to that accountability, I've been in situations sometimes where I sit back and I be like, you know what? I used to be like crying to God and saying, why this, why this? And then God will say, well, who made you do it? Like, who put a gun to your head and made you do it? Like, you crying about something you chose to do.
You chose to do.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the real person you gotta blame is yourself.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times, even going back to the woman and with the situation you was talking about, man, a lot of times if we just be truthful about it, you knew it wasn't about nothing from the beginning. It's you just thought that somehow you was gonna change who that person is, but that person ain't taking accountability for themselves, and you can't change that.
Can't change that. Hey, you know what? That's the realest thing you can say right there. But you know what? One thing I told anybody that came in contact with me, whether it's relationship, friendship, partnership, whatever, don't love me for who you want me to be. Love me for me. This G right here.
Yeah.
As you meet G, this G.
Yeah.
Sometimes it get a little crazy. Sometimes it get a little paranoid. But I need you to love it all.
Yeah.
I don't need you to love bits, pieces, and spikes of it.
Oh man, that's deep.
So,
I like that.
I know you can love me when everything going your way, but can you love me when it's not?
That's it right there, dog.
And I think that's enough right there to know if it's solid or not.
Yeah. I always say that. Because right now, man, look, when everything going good, everybody's saying they with you.
With you, baby. Say with you.
Everybody with you. When it's going good, who gonna say, nah, I don't want a part of that good?
Nah.
But then when you see that flaw.
But I don't mean to cut y'all.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I told my partner.
Yeah.
The other day, he was like, man, I'm sorry, I'm a real one. I said, have you ever met a nigga that walked up to you and said, hi, my name is Eddie and I'm a fuckboy?
How about that?
You right. Okay then, so don't come telling me about why. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, man, dog, that is so real. That's so on point. Nobody come up and say, you know what? I'm gonna go rob this. I'm gonna scam this guy.
I ain't gonna tell you, because then that's gonna defeat what they coming for.
Exactly.
Because now you alerted. You know what I'm saying? But I used to tell people back in the day when I'm just a different breed though. Like I told you,
right.
I used to tell my partners, "Hey man, I'm on that bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't let me see nothing I don't need to see.
Dang.
Because I don't want my mind to take me there. I give people fair warning when I was out there. You know what I'm saying? And then if you feel like he ain't talking about nothing, then whatever we do is on you.
Dang.
But I let you know I'm in my weak moment right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just been the type of guy I was, bro. Like, I give you some type of warning because
Yeah.
it's like that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't like that, bro. The average person gonna pretend like they your partner, your homie, and then they gonna show you something different. You know what I'm
And
saying?
see, even with that, man, that's respectable because see, when the only time you can really change anything is when you at a point where you can acknowledge, even if you got flaw, you got to be able to say, you know what, this my problem right now. This what I'm gonna do. So
No,
I'm
no.
giving you fair warning.
Some
Doing
facts.
doing that over a period of time, eventually when you don't acknowledge this so much, you be like, man, I'm not even finna do this no more. It just wear off. But this is the thing. When this is what I learned. When you got flaw, when there's something wrong with you and you know it, when you justify it, the only thing you doing is protecting it. You leaving it inside.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like a lot of times I learned this, even with I read the Bible a lot, and the Bible says that resist the devil and he shall flee. A lot of times when you say something that's right, people get offended. You know what's really happening in that place? It ain't necessarily them getting offended. It's the evil spirit within them that's trying to stay in.
Facts. Facts. But you want to tell you something else I learned too, though,
Yeah.
OG? Another thing I learned too, man, to have a peaceful life, sometimes you got to mind your business and let them mind theirs because sometimes the truth ain't meant for me to tell you.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't ready to accept what's real, then all I'm finna do is cause me one more enemy. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So to keep me from causing an enemy, I will smile, greet you, and get out your way. You feel me?
Man, I've done that myself because when my eyes woke up to certain things, I'm thinking, okay, so if I do this with them, they gonna get the same effect as me. No,
Because
no,
for one, what God visionaried you to see, He didn't visionary for them.
right,
And so they might get taught later down in life. They just might not get taught by you.
right,
And you might want them to be taught by you so they can pick up quicker. But if their mind ain't ready to expand, it won't expand. You see what I'm saying? So I learned, the craziest thing I ever heard that a lot of people don't still have common sense to this day is that common sense ain't so common.
no,
Because, like you were saying earlier when you like, I know they should know, I know they should know. Nah, man, them folk don't know.
no,
Them folk really just don't know. And sometimes it ain't that they don't know, they mind go blank.
yeah,
You know how somebody at school and you doing some work and you like, man, I know these problems, but just because you got time, they done put you on a time frame, you got this much time to do it, and it's the important test. For some reason, you're going to miss 4 to 5 questions. But if you practicing, you will get them questions right away. I'm talking about make 100 every time. It's just something about pressure. Pressure make I know a person that's a great thinker, you hear me?
yeah,
They is a beautiful thinker. They a good reader, so you couldn't stop them to save your life. But if pressure on, they'll go blank, and you got them. And that's why a lot of people distract you with pressure because you won't be able to think properly. And that's why they tell you a hasty decision is the worst decision because, it's deeper than deep, but you got to feel it. You understand me?
yeah, man. Golly, man, you dropping so much right now, man. Hey, this is some real conversation right here.
Yeah.
You right, man. And I found myself even guilty of that. I'm quick. I'm thinking on my feet. But soon as something, because my problem was with me was once my eyes became open and then I started just being truthful, I thought that, okay, I will be accepted.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, listen. When I was the guy that was, yeah, brother,
Yeah.
I was loved. But when I
Right.
was the guy saying,
Ooh, that's deep.
you got to go back and do that. Nah, you can do it a little better. He gonna tell me, bro, sound like the nigga hate because he know it's hard.
Yeah.
Well, if you know it's hard and you feel like I don't know what I'm talking about, why ask me for my opinion? Bro?
Right.
And first of all, you ain't got no business making nothing with the opinion of mine.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come from your heart. So when it comes from your heart, it's special because you done it, not
Right.
because of what I think about it.
Right. You is absolutely right with that, man. Dang.
It's deep, man.
For sure, man. Man, what you been working on lately, man?
Man, first shout out to my artist, Daddy Pup. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to London. Shout out to Beezy. Shout out to Rush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to all the guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
So.
I'm working on a new project. We finna get something together. I'm doing singles for everybody.
Yeah.
Then not only that, I've been working on a movie for my girl Sasha Smith. She got a movie I've been filming and working on that for her.
Okay.
And man, besides, I've been doing a little podcast thing for a little minute, but these last little months, I've been had some stuff going, so I'm not consistent with it like I should.
Yeah.
But I ain't trying to come in the game and be big and then I just be want to pop my thing about real life situations.
Yeah, and you know that was one of the things that drew me to you, because I'm like, man, I'm seeing your posts everywhere, people sharing your posts and stuff, and I'm looking on here and I'm like, you know, he be saying some stuff kind of like what I be talking about, man. Because, man, sometimes I just got to be real with it and direct and uncut. And it sometimes ain't no smiles with it.
Ain't no
smiles. You know what I'm saying?
With it.
But I be like, this what it really is. But later on, me, I've found myself in situations like this. You know, when I'm saying something, it ain't no smiles. But later on, they be like, you know what? I'm glad, you know.
Yeah.
That respect.
Respect. But that's someone that can take self-accountability and respect to respect it. Because remember, if they don't want to hear it, they can't respect it. For an example, it's people that's lying to people and telling them they the hardest rapper right now, and that's a lie.
Right.
It's people that's lying to people and telling them that they the greatest person they ever met, and that's a lie. It's people that's lying to people. That's just what it is. I learned about life itself. If people taking a liking into you, they assume you the greatest.
Yeah.
If you someone fun to be around, they assume you the realest. And don't none of them align up. You just a likable person.
Yeah.
Don't make you real. You just a fun person to be around. That don't make you real.
Wow.
You can make time go by fast because you cool, but that don't make you real.
Right.
And they mixing this cool stuff up with real stuff. And that's why I don't have real conversations with people. Because when I done seen you to brand somebody that I know ain't like that, what we talking for?
Right. Wow. That's so true, man.
And that's why people like me, you know, that be 100 and that's like, we are the problem because we exposing the cover of the turtle.
Wow. Right.
And if you exposing it, then they ain't got no shield to pretend and go off of their facade. So, yeah, I don't like you. And you ain't got to do nothing to me not to like you. I just know you can smell bullshit. And before you blow my cover, I need to go on and paint you as the bad guy so no one will pay you no attention.
Right. And then what I've learned, even in situations like that, when they paint you as the bad guy, while everybody focus on you, they over there busting they move.
Most definitely.
They over there busting they move. Because the light was finna go out.
Yeah.
Because the real was finna show. So now you got to be painted the picture as the bad guy. So now we focus the attention on you so I can go ahead and pull this, what I was trying to do.
Yeah, they've been doing it to me for a minute. But this the thing, though, with God on your side, it don't matter who against you. You hear me? The world was against Jesus.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
We know a prophet's not accepted in his own home.
That's true.
So we ain't going to cry. We ain't going to dibble. We ain't going to die. We're going to take it for what it is, roll with the punches, because we were built for it.
Yeah.
And if we weren't built for it, we wouldn't be in a position to handle it.
You know what? And I go back to that. Everybody be saying like, man, God ain't real, and this. Some people, well, not everybody, but some people be thinking God ain't real. If God was real, he did that. You know, listen, when you start really operating in truth, you'll know that God was real. Because I'm like, you know what? If you really operating in truth, they going to want to kill you.
Well, first you just got to, this is the first thing. Some of us was just blessed with the anointings because of our great-granny or our great-grandfather that was a church-going person that prayed for us before we even came out of their child womb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we was already we don't know that because we weren't here at them times when Granny and them were here.
Right.
See, back in them praying days. See, I was already shielded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't have nothing to do with me. It had something to do with my ancestors before me that prayed for me.
Right.
So I'm saying that's deeper than they'll ever understand. So,
for sure.
You know, people ain't never thought about this right here. Like, who is your granny?
Wow.
You wouldn't even get down to the third granny probably. A lot of people will cut the third generation. Some of the third generation still around. But majority of them probably want to get to the third granny. So let alone, let's talk about the sixth granny. So with that being said, you got a family tree that a granny no longer even exists no more, that you can't even put together because nobody even cared to carry that legacy. See, people ain't loving you like they say they loving you.
Wow.
You know, one day you're going to become a memory and ain't none of this going to be nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might give you a shout out for the first 3 years you're gone, and then it's over with. So I stopped getting caught up in competition, and I stopped getting caught up in BS. So that's why they can't see what I see, because they mind ain't where mine is.
Right. For sure, man. Man, we done had some good conversation here, man. I ain't even know it was gonna turn out with this. This is my first time meeting you in person.
Almost definitely
Man,
first
you a
time
cool,
meeting.
yeah, man, you a cool dude, man.
Appreciate
And we just having some real talk. We definitely got to get more of this
Hey
in,
man,
man.
most definitely.
Cause it's one thing about it. You don't see a lot of brothers just having real conversation no more.
No. Well, this the thing about life I learned. They not having real conversations because they want people to stay blind to the fact. So when somebody like me speak up and then you got 1,500 people listening, then they like, he enlightening people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might have a guy over here right now with the silly baby mama.
Yeah.
She don't know no better.
Right.
But then she a child of God, so she can feel the right spirit and the right energy, so some stuff she can gravitate to. Well, he'll be sitting on the couch hollering about, man, he don't know nothing. He don't, you hear me?
Right.
Because he don't want his lady to be enlightened because she's probably his lifeline.
Right.
That's the same way with family members. A lot of mamas don't want their child to leave the house because their child is probably their lifeline. No, you don't need to go to them streets. You need to be here. Your mind too bad. It's like people will stop you from growing because either they're attached to you, or they're jealous of you, or they don't want to depart from you because they still connected with you. And that's how it be with these family situations, and why a lot of people never leave the house because they so comfortable with one another. You feel me?
Yeah.
But family, we know, be the reason why you never prosper in life too.
Man. That's a whole nother subject right there,
because
man.
If your partner say, if my brother got it, I got it, right? Well, guess what? What is he going to ever stack and put up and have for the generation?
Right.
Because all the extras he got, you need them.
And then if you think about...
He can't leave a legacy.
Right. And if you think about that, living the legacy on, most of us would own our houses. You know what I mean? Because a lot of our elders, they worked and paved the way. And over the time, we just let it go.
Listen, a lot of stuff didn't even get let go over the time. A lot of these kids, they mama worked hard. 70-something years, they daddy worked hard. 70-something years, got all their retirement. Right soon as they got all these benefits, they passed away, they get to enjoy it. The kids were left with a house. Man, I know a guy that was left with a couple of cars, 2 houses, and a little bread in the bank, and he walking around with nothing.
Dang.
Like, how did you mess up their legacy, bro? Your mama probably rolling in her grave, all them overtimes and late nights and all this she left for you. You hear me? So that's another thing I learned, bro. My kids gonna learn to get it on their own. I love my kids, and I go over and beyond for my kids, but they gonna learn to get it on their own. And whatever daddy give you, that's a bonus.
Man, that's so deep what you said, because see, I learned something with raising my kids throughout the middle of the process. I'm like, you know what? A lot of people are always saying, I'm going to give my kids everything that I didn't have. No, because then they won't become what you did. Like I used to think about that. I'm like, you know, every time my kids want something, I'm giving it to them. But what I'm doing in that position is I'm actually creating a monster, because now, because now what they doing is they route now is, when I want some, ask daddy. Don't get out here and grind and get it myself.
Facts. And kids got a way of nowadays, they're so intelligent, they'll make you feel guilty if you say no.
Right.
But see, that's when you got to stand firm. See, mama will give in, but a solid dad ain't giving in. So that's why they going to choose mama before they choose pops. But, you know, they love them both, but, you know, mama gonna let you have your way.
Yeah.
And see, that be the downfall of mamas, and that's another thing we gotta have a conversation on, too.
Yeah.
These households where the parents going against one another for the child because one another want to be the child friend instead of being the child parent.
Ooh.
So now it's causing discommunication.
Yeah.
So soon as daddy leave out to go and scrape up some dollars, you and mama and got her doing what she wants you to do.
Right.
So when he come back to the house, and see, I don't like that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
me either.
No, but they do it though.
Yeah.
The kids and the mama is making plans behind your back, and I said, don't nobody do nothing.
Yeah.
And they studied doing it. You
Yeah.
hear me? And you know it's your family, you love them to death. But at the same time, I'm knowing that that's where the problem come in at, and that's how a lot of kids grow up thinking they can jump on their mama because you've been giving me everything. How you gonna stop now?
Man, boy, hey. Man, God dang, I know a situation that's like that right
you
now.
Can't get them kids everything, man.
And see that, and the thing is, what made me want to grind and go hard for it is because I didn't have nobody that was gonna do it for me. And the thing was, I'm like, man, if I don't make it happen, it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
But what it do is, it bring out something in you didn't know you had.
That's the one. And that's what we got to teach these kids. You got something in you that's worth everything you ever wanted.
Right.
So go get it. You know, let me show you something.
Yeah.
Black child.
Yeah.
Here go the daddy. Come here, Junior. Come up, bro. I'm finna show you something on top of the roof. Here come the woman. You get your mother down with my baby before he fall and hurt himself. What's wrong with you? It's gonna be a problem out here. Yeah. Here come a Mexican. Come on, Danny. He up here nailing tiles down and ain't even 8 years old.
Yeah.
So he was born into a working mysterious machine. But then the black child, he's nursing and took care of and protected in such a way to the point that he's almost like a female that's soft and feminine. I know a person hate to hear that, but that's true.
That's true.
The white man, he's somewhere on the farm with grandpa, and they got him driving the truck, teaching him how to take the hay down here and unload the bales before he's 12 years old.
And then by the time they 21, they already running the business.
So that's why they already having money. Black folk got to get off that nonsense and start getting your kids right now, bro, because we ain't here forever.
Right.
God is.
Yeah.
So pray for them. And make sure they make it do what it do. But sitting up here trying to protect them from everything, we got to get the teaching. Stop protecting and start teaching.
Exactly, because you don't know fire is hot till you done touched it.
That's the one. So now you know how to stay away from that fire.
Exactly.
But if you ain't touched that fire and mom ain't around, you probably going to die.
Exactly. Because you going to get somewhere where the fire bigger, and because you don't know it's hot, now you got a much bigger problem on your hands versus had you learned this at a young age or at an earlier time, you know what I'm saying? You'd have been like, okay, well, now I know how to do this. And that's what it's talking about when it say train up a child in the way they should go.
And they won't depart.
Right.
And see, that's what the Mexicans do.
Right.
But see, the black man can't do that because the mama gonna get involved because her emotions come before her teaching.
Man, let me tell you something. One day I came out of my house and it was a house next door. It was a house next door to me. The roof was messed up on it. Right. You know what tripped me out about this, bro? Okay, it was some Mexicans out there fixing the roof. But the kids, the mama, the man, and probably his couple cousins or brothers, all of them was out there working. The mama was on the ground like picking up the shingle. The kids was sweeping. They was on there nailing. One dude was taking them out. One dude was slapping them on. And man, I came back that evening. They had it done.
The Mexicans gonna do that. They gonna do that.
And I'm like, man, they whole family working. Then I see them like 15 of them getting out and then next thing you know, they built their whole block. Yeah. Their whole thing.
But do you know why though? Don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Why? The why is because faith, which black people don't got. But everybody will jump on her and say they got faith. Faith is, I don't got no way to pay for nobody to change this alternator. but I'm gonna get it on. That's faith.
Ooh,
So you
that's
go
deep.
come on, man. It don't take nothing to go to Harbor Freight, get a $40 toolbox, and learn how to put that start on. Whether I gotta go to
Wow.
YouTube or what. We got instructions and guides now through YouTube. Everybody can do anything they want. A man can get up right now, go outside. It's gonna take the money to buy the wood, but you can build your house from the ground up.
Man, that's so deep.
The main
Faith.
thing is learn your measurements. And once you learn your measurements and your cutting and your proper skilling,
And YouTube, you got
the
it.
sky's the limit. You don't need a degree for that.
You know what,
I'm saying?
man? And you know what's so
You are the
crazy,
degree.
man? Yeah. You know what's so crazy, man? Faith. Let's go back to that. A lot of people think faith is sitting down waiting for something to happen.
No, faith is not that. Faith, and they tells you faith with no works.
It's
not-
dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's clear that up. Faith is like this right here. I don't know what's finna happen, but I know my God gonna make a way.
Yeah.
And you gonna smile while making it happen.
Right.
You're not gonna have your face long being like, I hope it come through. I know I'm saying he gonna
Right.
do it, but no, you don't have faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, faith is this right here. When I first moved to Texarkana, this was like probably 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I had no funds, but I had to get away from my hometown
Right.
because they wanted to lock me up and get rid of me
Yeah.
because I had been in so much trouble
Yeah.
as a juvie. Well, I left on faith.
Yeah.
No mama, no cousin, no brother, no sister, no nothing.
There you
It's
go.
just me. Well, no transportation or nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I walked to the store every day, when I had the money, because I wasn't having it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We talking about a struggle situation.
Yeah, yeah,
Walk
yeah.
to the store daily, you hear me? Bread and bologna, you hear me? And then it come to a point of time where I had no money, and the refrigerator got down to the last bologna sandwich.
Talk about it.
And I'm like, man, it's gonna take like 16 more days before I have any type of money that's
Man.
coming in that I know for sure that I'm gonna have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anything else I can go out and hustle, but it's not guaranteed that it's gonna make.
Right.
So, but guess what? Every day I ate good
Yeah.
without me knowing how I was gonna eat good.
Wow.
That's real faith.
Right.
And that's how I know I'm one of the chosen ones.
Right.
Because I had goals to have some things that was nice.
Yeah.
Without a plan, without a hustle, I got a lot of things nice. You see what I'm saying?
for
That's
sure.
faith.
Yes,
You hear me?
sir.
He put it in there. He'll put it in your way. And sometimes he'll put people in your life to put you in positions that you can't put yourself in.
Right.
See, when he changed your heart and put it on your heart to step, you going to step.
Yeah.
I don't care if you do or don't want to. But you're going to want to because the feeling that goes over you, you know what I'm saying?
And one thing, even with that, I've learned, when you asking God for something, a lot of times God want to see what you gonna do, though.
Facts, but he do want us to come to him.
Yeah.
He do want us to acknowledge him.
Yeah.
He do want us to ask him for things.
Yeah.
He do want us to now he did give us our own
Yeah.
free will, you know what I'm saying, and gave us our choice to lead, follow the way,
Right.
be reborn. He gave us the choice.
Right.
We can go be pure nonsense
Yeah.
or we can go be pure guidance. So we have a choice, but when we ask and allow him into, then what they say, make a step and he'll make the rest
Yeah.
of the way. So that's where they come from. So that's why when people say, God gave me this, God gave me that. No, God gave you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the tools on earth to get it.
Yeah. For sure.
You wouldn't.
Exactly. That's it. That's it right there.
No.
See, and a lot of times I've even learned that in life. Like, before you know it, I'll be like, man, I don't gotta pay this person to do it. I done figured it out.
They go back to faith though.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't have faith that they can accomplish something. So they rather pay someone else to do it. So it'll be on them and not themselves. So that goes back to what I was saying about a car and a starter.
Yeah.
I got to get the start on her one way or another.
Yeah.
If I ain't got no money. And see, that's how we come from the country like that. Like, we going to make it happen. I done painted cars. I done worked on cars. Now, this ain't nothing I'm no professions at. This is what I had to have faith to do when I couldn't afford to pay to get it done. So
Sure.
that's why I tell people, excuse don't mean that. Well,
Right.
you different. You could go to, bro, you can do the same. You got these
Exactly.
5 fingers. You got that arm. What's going to stop you, gang?
Right.
We're gonna start the same way I had to learn it. You can learn it.
I always say that same thing, and I'm like, you know, even when I started podcasting, I'm like, man, I be looking at all these videos. I'm like, man, this what they doing? Man, I can do this. Man, I can figure that out. I can do that. And before you know it, I look back, I was in here the other day and I was looking back and I was like, dang, man, when you look at it all added up now, it's like, dang, I did a lot of stuff. Like, but to me, I was just doing one thing at a time. And that's how it really be in life. You start doing one thing at a time, before you know it, you be like, dang, I done did like 15 different things.
15 different
and
things.
And the money that I would have had to use, I was able to keep.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
So then you can ball.
Exactly.
So they don't understand where them extras come from.
Right.
See, they don't understand it. Let me show you something. The OG used to always tell us, and when I say OG, I don't mean gangster OG. I mean someone older offering game.
Yeah.
Someone that's offering game. OG offering game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Someone that's knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say
yeah,
OG.
for sure.
They used to tell us, they got all that money and sold all that dope. They go put these big rims on their car and paint it and blow all this money. Ooh. And you know, as you come out, you think about it, you like, that is stupid.
Right.
You finna paint this car, you gonna sell it next year. You know, you gonna sell the rims off of it. Now you're gonna be forced to sell it for, and then if something come in, a bill or something that you gotta pay, you know, now you finna sell it for cheaper than what you really want for, because you can't wait to get the full value out of it.
Right.
So guess what? Well, I better learn to paint myself.
Right.
And I can have as many paint jobs
exactly.
as I want to have. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't gonna cost me nothing but the paint.
One of the biggest things that got me out of doing all that stuff, because I used to like it. It was real flashy, real nice. But I got to thinking, but I'm like...
It makes sense.
But I'm like, for insurance purposes, you know, no matter what you do to a car, the insurance value it the regular car. So all the 15, 20,000 you put in it, the insurance, if somebody run a light and totaled it out, you don't get none of that back. So I was like, I learned that.
Well, even with the, I don't mean to cut you off. No. Even with the regular car, like you said, that ain't been touched and tinkered, they still don't give you the full value.
Right.
They find some type of reason of why not to pay you.
Oh, that's another hustle.
That's a whole nother. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, they used to stick so much to insurance companies to the point that now they just start doing it. Because back in the day, you know, these people burn out their houses, they burn their cars, get that money, they in a bad crisis, and they back up 50 bands.
Yeah.
Now they talking stuff, and too many people done it. So now they done got to the point where they trying to recoup all that money back from all the years. So now you'll be paying insurance. All the years won't miss one payment, and some kind of glitch in the fine print that they had on the contract that you didn't read.
Yeah.
Because everybody know if I got insurance, I'm supposed to get paid. So what have to read? So they ain't reading it.
Right.
And then boom, come to find out you ain't finna get too much of nothing off of it.
And then this was another thing on this insurance lady schooled me on one time. A lot of people might not know this, but people be thinking like, well, I got full coverage insurance. Bro, if you ever get into an accident or any type of accident occur, and you use your insurance and you just say, oh, I'm just using my Compton Collision, they marking you as at fault. So I had to learn like that uninsured motorist, if somebody hit your car and they don't have insurance, it'll fix your car for you, but it'll have you in the system as not being at fault. But if you use your full coverage Compton Collision on an accident, they go on record and say that you at fault for the accident.
Well, if you use yours, but my thing is, if somebody else hit me, why am I using mine?
Right.
Yeah, some people sue their own insurance because they greedy for money. Like, a lot of people do a lot of nonsense, and that's the reason why a lot of the economy bad, too, because they messed this money up, and these folks want some of that money back.
Yeah.
But this is what I tell you, and we was taught this as kids coming out of mama house.
Yeah.
One child will mess it up for all.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's really what's going on, too.
Because if one steals something, and she can't find out who done it, we all finna get it.
For sure. Yeah, man, but man, I enjoyed you stopping by here. I enjoyed the conversation, man. We're gonna have to We got to do this a lot often, man. We got
Man,
to
most
get some real talk, man.
Nah, for real.
So, man, anything.
And we would have had a better little whoop whoop, but man, it hit me in my sinus. That's why I'm
Oh,
studying
yeah, yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah,
these
yeah, yeah, yeah.
name, so I can't pop it like I normally
Yeah,
pop it.
yeah,
But I tell you this right here though, I'm gonna leave them with some major
yeah,
jewels. The thing about life, once again, what I said earlier, because I didn't elaborate on it.
yeah,
Finding out who real is you got to look at yourself.
yeah.
And remember, when we lie, the main key to being solid is discipline. The way to grab discipline is exercising. Because if you can make yourself get up and discipline yourself to go to the gym and put in an hour, 30 minutes, or an hour a day,
Yeah.
then you can discipline yourself to do anything you want to do. And I know
Sure.
somebody gonna say that ain't even what they got to do with this and that. They got everything to do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that gym is the practice of discipline. The same way when you exercise, you build muscle. You know what I'm saying? So when you practice discipline, you building muscle toward the discipline.
For sure.
So that's why that goes together. Wealth and health goes together. You feel me? You can't have wealth without health, and you can't have health without wealth.
For sure.
I'm telling you what I know.
For sure, man. I agree with that, man. Well, man, I sure thank you for stopping by the Popcorn Podcast show, man.
Shout out to Popcorn.
Oh, yeah, man.
Hey, shout out to Popcorn Podcast,
Yes, sir,
man. Appreciate you for having me.
Oh,
You
yeah,
doing
man,
good
most
thing.
day,
I want to congratulate you, man. You out there on the media, they see what you're doing, they see how you doing it. You hear me? And I want to tell you to your face, man. I'm proud of you. Keep popping you. You hear me?
Oh, yeah,
man. And it's gonna get greater. You hear me? And I love your setup, man. I love you. This the first setup out of this just straight up, no cap. This like you got the whole nine. Like,
Yeah, appreciate that,
you
man.
popping it. You popping
Yeah,
it.
I appreciate that, man.
popping
Well,
it.
follow. Make sure y'all want to see more content. Y'all plug your Facebook and all that
Hey
stuff.
man, Bhg Poke on Facebook. My fan page, Bhg Poke. Instagram, ASMO_Poke_G. TikTok Poke G. YouTube Poke G. And hey, Spotify, you already know. Any other platforms if you want to tap in with that music, Poke G.
Yeah, for sure, man. Poke G on the Popcorn Podcast show. Hey, and I appreciate you tuning in, and man, and we up out of here.
We out of here.